morning, everyone.
Do you hear me like this? Is it up, my voice, or do we need the microphone?
For the recording, we need the mic.
Ah, okay, I see.
Okay, I use the mic then. So, as said, I'm a fanatic of language learning, and I would like to share my experience learning Chinese and studying these funny characters. I will just shortly introduce myself. I'm a developer normally. After a summer I look like this, but I have really much interest in Chinese. You might ask why Chinese? I really admire longevity. Like they have a culture that is like 4,000 years old. For example, this piece of jewelry was made like 3,000 years ago. It has 4 wheels and it is still working. Like they had to stick it into this thing because otherwise it just rounds down the whole thing. And it's like 3,000 years old. And I don't really know any other civilization that has such artifacts. We have some, but they are not working as well as in China. Anyway, they are ready to work. I was amazed of people really working on streets without any bosses around. They were just doing their work. And I love Chinese characters. I don't know if you know the Chinese characters or if you have any interest. Could you put up your hands if you have interest in Chinese or Chinese characters? Yeah, we have some people. Okay, that's cool. So I'm really a fan of them, and they look amazing to me. And they're also like 2,000–3,000 years old, and the same characters they use like 2,000 years ago, they use now. Maybe a slightly changed form, but they are basically the same. Anyway, my problem was that I failed the Chinese HSK3 exam the second time. It was because at HSK2, the level before, you have the pronunciation in the text, and in HSK3 you have just these characters, and I couldn't remember these characters correctly. So that's why I started this process, and I counted them. I needed 390 more Chinese words to pass this exam. So I found out that I need new learning methods to really get these characters into my mind. First, I sent out a survey. I don't know if you have seen it. It was on the quantified self page. And I basically asked how you study words. I don't know if any one of you is actively learning a language now. Could you put up your hands? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow, okay. We have like a third or half of our population learning a language. That's nice. Okay. And so I sent out this survey, and I basically asked how do you learn new words? And I got these results. So, why you learn it? Because it's fun, business, be open for the world. This is a manual pivot table, and it shows us that you basically learn by traditional methods. You just read the word pairs and try to remember them and repeat them and repeat them. And you also learn simplified books. But otherwise, these innovative methods are not really in use. But some of you who are using innovative language learning methods have fantastic results. So, I have also seen that you have interest in this memory town system. Now, I will talk about these 4 methods: reading word pairs, pairs and repeating. Create and repeat phrases, like you apply the words and use it in phrases. Memory palace method and the influent game. How many of you know the memory palace method, for example? One, not that many, two, three. It's not that known. It's a very useful method. I will show you in a minute. So, I also define this, so to measure and quantify my progress, I have stated exact goals. And here you can see my goals. I don't know if you want to go through them. These are basically the factors I measured during my study, these 3 or 4 weeks. Do you have interest in them? Or let's just continue. Actually, I don't have too much time left, so I'll just continue. The first 60 words I tried with the traditional method. Basically, I was using this Excel sheet, and I was just repeating these words. And then I also drew them here beside. And then after, here you can see the results. If I didn't know a word, I put the number of days passed after the word. So here, this word I didn't know after 5 days, after 10 days, after 15 days. And after counting it, after 15 days, I knew 33 words from 60. That means 72%. And it's quite values. And then I tested the memory palace method. And the memory palace is basically a map of a physical environment that you use to place your words inside it. So this is the Gellert hill. I started here and I placed a word in a funny setting. It's a scene with a vegetable monster and vegetable children, and this whole scene is colorful and moving and might have smells and all kind of kinesthetic feelings. And this helps me to really register a new word. And I reached 85% retention rate with this, and it's a very exciting experience. And just to quickly go back, like I start here, I make a scene here for a word, and then I continue to another place, I make a scene there, and then the third place, fourth place, and so I just position 20 words along a route on Gellert Hill. And the more colorful and vivid the picture is, the more effect it has on your mind, and the better your success rate is. So, that was very exciting, very good. And then the influent game is also very colorful, but is practically unusable for this purpose. I was not successful with it. And then, making sentences, I was just applying the words and trying to remember them. And it's also not successful. For Chinese, it's not working, although it's a very usable tool. So, I actually have just 1 minute left. I just quickly want to show you then that my results are that the memory palace has the highest retention rate. So if you want to really learn and really remember something, you can put it into a memory palace, and you will remember after 10 days, 20 days, half a year, because you can make very vivid, very interesting scenes. So that's I would use this method, and I will use this method in the future. This is my table. I don't have time to go into details now. I will publish this presentation, and you can have a look at it if you have interest. And then I have found tons of interesting videos on the internet about language learning. If you look, or if you watch one video, this should be from Anthony Roder. It's an amazing video. And is also an interesting presentation. What did I learn? Greatest enemy is Facebook. How can you learn anything while meerkats are laughing and people are jumping from buildings and dogs are wearing bars on their heads? So it's really distracting, amazingly distracting. And my solution is to time box it. What else did I learn? I didn't find any silver bullet. There is no one method that will teach you everything in a language, or at least I don't know of it. But methods and planning is very useful. But it's not a tool that you use to learn what matters, it's you and your connection in and to a foreign language. So better clear the why and your real connection. And actually, my time is up. That's all. Thank you for your attention.
Any questions? While I'm walking here, I will ask one. Did you pass the exam?
The interview on Saturday, 10th of May. I still have 100 words to learn.
So if I understood correctly, the memory palace method is useful for you, for Chinese, because of how the Chinese characters are made up. So do you think this method is also useful for English words, for example?
It is useful for storing anything in your mind. So it is also useful for English or German or anything.
I want to ask you, how do you recall the word from a memory palace? So, if I know correctly, it is a linear method, so if you want to recall the 10th word, then you have to go to the whole work, or I don't know.
Actually, your mind is able to reposition itself virtually. So, for example, let's think of your home door, the door you enter into your house. You can think of that now. It's in your spatial memory. You have a spatial memory, and you can immediately jump to it. And the same way, if you are experienced like virtual walker, your mind can just go into these memory palaces and just quickly jump from position to position. So it's not just, you don't have to go through all the route, you can just jump to the 10th or jump to the 15th.
How do you connect the words with the place? I mean, you said that there are 400 words, and how do you think up a picture that is the word? And
So many places, so many locations, you mean?
Yes, and that there is an arbitrary word that you want to remember, and there is a place that you want to store it. But how do you connect it with any place, any word?
Okay, as I have found, it's not practical to do more than 20 words one time. So in my experience, I always did a set of words of 20, and I used like 3 cities altogether to learn like 200 languages. 200 words, sorry. English would be a bit overstatement, and you just walk along cities, and you can have walks with 20 locations, 20 distinct locations, and I had like 4 cities, 5 cities, and I'm just walking around, and if now I have like 200 words, And then if I need more locations, I can also picture myself like 10 meters above a location. So I have 20 locations on the ground level, and then I picture myself 10 meters above the ground level, and I do the same location, and I put vivid scenes in the air. So I have done 40 birds from one set.
I think we have time for one more question.
Did you ever find yourself associating the word with the number rather than the location? Because I see you say it's a walk, so there's a clear order to it. Did you ever say like, okay, this is the 17th word or this is the 15th word? And if you did, is that a bad way to do it?
You mean if the number plays an important role in this process, if the correct order. There is a system called the memory pegging system that is clearly using the number as a tool. And the memory palace is a bit different. The memory palace, you have locations. So actually I didn't use the numbers. It makes administration is simpler if you have numbers and you can go on, but otherwise I didn't use the number in the scene itself.
Okay, cool.
Okay, thank you very much for
Mhm.
the presentation. And our next speaker is Botond. He's representing